You want to get shredded, not just lose a few pounds, but cut down to the bone. Muscle showing, fat gone, the kind of lean that turns heads at the beach. But most people, they burn out before they ever get there because they follow garbage advice, get overwhelmed, lack patience, or just don't have a system. This video is the system. Here are the 10 rules for getting shredded the right way. Make sure you listen to all 10 tips because I'll save the best for last. Let's build. Rule 1. Understand what cutting really is. Cutting isn't just eating clean or doing a bunch of cardio. It's controlled fat loss while keeping as much muscle as possible. You do that by eating fewer calories than your body needs to maintain its current weight. That's called a calorie deficit, and it's non-negotiable. No magic food, no supplements, just math and discipline. There are 2 main ways to cut: slow and steady. This can last months depending on where you're starting from and where you're trying to go. You drop a half to 1.5 pounds a week. It's sustainable. Aggressive cut, 4 to 6 weeks. More aggressive. Drops fat fast, but harder to maintain due to low energy, willpower over time, and increased hunger and cravings. Pick based on your life, not your ego. If you have more fat to lose, let's say 25 pounds or more, you'll probably find it easier to drop a few pounds a week compared to someone who's already relatively lean and only has 10 to 15 pounds to lose. This is because when you're overweight, you have an excess of stored energy. So your body's willing to give up more energy without extreme hunger. Those who are already lean could still benefit from an aggressive cut considering the short time frame. However, even with that said, slow cuts work best for most people because you don't crash and burn after 3 weeks. It will be much more sustainable when you reach your goal because you won't feel as malnourished as you might on a more aggressive diet. You'll have a better chance of keeping those abs year-round. Rule 2. Set a real timeline. Here's a part nobody wants to hear. Getting lean takes longer than you think. Set a deadline, but make it real. Not summer shreds in 3 weeks. That's fantasy. If you've got 20 pounds to lose, you're looking 6 to 8 weeks minimum if you want to do it right. Too many people start strong, drop 10 pounds fast, then plateau and give up. Or even worse, binge eat and gain everything back and then some. Why? Because they didn't give themselves time. Patience isn't a virtue, it's a requirement. When you're deep in the cut, take a break if you need to. This doesn't mean eat anything you want for a week straight. It means eat a few hundred more calories for a day or a couple of days. This can help your body and mind recover. And then get right back on track. Know that the motivation will come and go, but we don't build bodies on hype. We build them on structure, brick by brick. Rule 3. Shape your environment for success. Discipline is powerful, but if your environment is working against you, it's only a matter of time before you break. So, set yourself up to win. Make your surroundings match your goals. Let me be real with you. I personally love sweets, especially cookies. But I know if I keep them in my house, they become very easy for me to mindlessly eat. Some people can keep junk around and not want to eat it. But if you're anything like me, I recommend just not having it around. If you keep cookies in the cabinet just in case, trust me, I've been there before, you might have a just in case moment at 11 p.m. Now look, you can still fit the food you love into your diet, but by removing them from your immediate environment, it makes it easier to stay locked in. Even on my diet, I'll save some room to go grab a slice of pizza from a local Italian spot on Friday night, or get some ice cream on a Saturday night. This also helps me to be more grateful and enjoy those foods more than I would if I kept them around all the time. So, replace the candy jar with mints or gum. Put the temptation out of reach, or better yet, out of the house. I keep a pack of gum on my kitchen island at all times, and a treadmill right in front of the TV. If your house makes it easier to eat unhealthy than to move, change that. Put a walking pad in front of your TV. If you're going to watch Netflix, do it while getting your steps in. Set out your gym clothes the night before, so when you wake up, the decision's already made. Structure isn't restriction, it's freedom. Now, you may be wondering, how is a structured diet freedom? And I say to you that true freedom can only be established within boundaries. If you eat whatever you want all the time, you'll certainly have freedom. Free from being healthy, in shape, and being full of energy. And a slave to food, brain fog, and obesity. If you eat according to a structured meal plan, you'll have true freedom. The freedom to choose how much you want to weigh, how you want to look, to be healthy, and have lots of energy. Choose your freedom. I got a bit off track, but once your environment starts helping you stay on track, discipline stops feeling like a fight. It just becomes who you are. Speaking of tracking, rule number 4, track everything. If you're not tracking, you're guessing, and guessing is how you stay stuck. Track your food. Yes, everything, even the bites, even just one snacks. Use an app, use a notebook, doesn't matter, but measure what matters. Track your daily weight, too, in the morning right after you pee on an empty stomach. One day won't tell the whole story, but your weekly average tells the truth. Water fluctuates. Food weight shifts. The weight number will bounce, but the average, that's progress in real time. This isn't about obsession. It's about awareness. Awareness creates accountability, and accountability builds results. Once you successfully lose however much weight you'd like, ideally you'll be able to intuitively maintain that weight without micromanaging what you eat. Of course, assuming you're choosing mostly whole food options. That is mastery. Rule 5. Don't cut calories too fast. Big mistake most people make. They slash their calories way too hard out the gate. Going from 3,500 calories a day to 2,000 can be tough. Yeah, you'll drop weight fast, but you also could drop strength, mood, energy, and eventually discipline. Ideally, you want to lose 1.5% or less of your body weight per week. That means for a 180-pound guy, 1.5 to 2 pounds max. Your deficit, keep it around 300 to 500 calories per day. That's it. That gives you room to adjust later when you plateau, and you won't be as hungry. Start small, build down. Ask yourself, is it better to not eat much during the week and then eat everything in sight on a weekend and mess up your hard work? Or eat as much as possible during the week while still being in a deficit so that when the weekend comes, you don't feel the need to binge because you're not starving. That's how you'll last longer than the guy trying to starve his way to a six-pack. Now, for an aggressive cut, you can increase your deficit up to 700 to 1,000 calories below your maintenance. If you're not experienced with dieting, I don't recommend that approach. Rule 6. Take breaks if you need them. At some point, the diet's going to get heavy, not only on your body, but on your mind. You'll feel tired, burn out, like every meal is a test of will. That doesn't mean you quit. If you've been dieting for 6 weeks straight and haven't messed up, go to maintenance for 1 to 2 weeks. Give yourself a break, refuel, reset. Then come back and finish the cut strong. This isn't weakness, it's strategy. You're not a machine. You're a builder, and every builder needs recovery to keep stacking bricks the right way. Rule 7. Cardio is a tool, not a crutch. You don't have to do cardio to lose fat, but if you want to make the process smoother, use it. Our bodies burn a certain number of calories just by existing. The exact number depends on your height, weight, and genetics. Cardio increases your total calories burned. It also keeps your heart healthy, your mind clear, and your output high. But don't rely on it like a crutch. It's easier to eat 200 fewer calories than to try to burn 200 more every day. Use cardio to complement your deficit, not make up for a bad diet. I walk outside every morning to start my day. 5 times a week, I also get on an incline treadmill. 30 minutes. That's it. Simple, low impact, consistent. You don't need to run marathons. You just need to move daily. Rule 8. Build a diet that fights hunger. If your diet leaves you starving every 2 hours, it's broken. Build meals around low-calorie, high-volume foods. Think spinach, mushrooms, egg whites with your eggs, lean meats, white fish, bell peppers, onions, Greek yogurt, berries, stuff that fills your stomach without draining your calories. I also recommend some whole foods that have a bit more calories, but will keep you full for hours. Foods like salmon, avocados, and sweet potatoes do the job for me. Keep your protein high. 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. It helps protect your muscles from shrinking and keeps your hunger low. Avoid liquid calories. Drink water, black coffee, diet sodas if you need flavor. This will also help keep your hunger in check. When are the best times to eat? After multiple failed attempts at losing weight in the past, I can tell you this. Do what works best for you. Some people like to fast until noon or even later before their first meal. This could make it easier to stay full later in the day. Others, like me, like to eat a light breakfast at around 10 a.m. I find that I don't get hungry again until 2 or 3 p.m. After that, I won't eat again until 6 or 7. When I fast until 2, I notice I'm a lot hungrier. After finishing my meal, I double check the plate to make sure there's no more food because I'm still hungry. But again, figure out what works best for you.